Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Dr. K with Freedom by Design, and it's Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesday. Good morning, good morning. I see good morning, Bern. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Juanita. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're just going to wait for a few more of our friends to jump on with us. Hey, Avril. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you all for tuning in. I feel like I'm short this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's not a feeling. I'm always short every morning. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Dee, good morning, sis. Like and share as you come on. Please do like and share. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, and yes. I hope everybody has had a great week so far. And I keep telling you guys, you gotta kickstart your day off on the God zone. At least that's the way I'm doing, kickstarting my day off. And this morning, my brother from another mother, Martin Augustine, he brought a word. We have been doing acronyms all week, and this morning the acronym was HIGH. Yes, yes. And I'm gonna post the message so y'all can hear it, because I don't even want to ruin it for you. I need you to hear that thing yourself. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Browder. Good morning, Frankie. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Faith. Good morning, my love. Good morning, good morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Frankie, you said I'm tall to the world. I'm tall. Not quite, but yeah, it's something going on over here with a sister. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Thank you all for being on. Hey, Yolanda, how you doing this morning, sis? I hope all is going well with you. It's nice to see you on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and get us started this morning because, like I said, we have a special guest this morning. And when I say a special guest, she truly is special to me. She is a friend of mine. She is also a business partner of mine. We bounce ideas off of each other. Like, we spend a lot of time together, and she has a powerful story and a powerful word. And as you see, our topic this morning is nevertheless, she persisted, because this young lady exemplifies that. When I was doing my meditation, she was the first person I thought about when I thought about this topic, because she has a mighty story to tell. And as I talk about her, I want to go ahead and bring her on side by side. Nannette, good morning, good morning, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nannette Rolle. Good morning, sister.
Hey, how you guys out there doing? How you doing, Trina?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Nannette, first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for being a part of the Freedom by Design movement, and being vulnerable and transparent enough to come and share the platform with me this morning. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
No, and thank you so much for me being here with you. I love this movement. I love my shirt, and I love my blue.
We had to throw the blue in there, but it's okay. So it's an inside joke, guys. We love it. We love it. So this morning, Nannette, as I was up and I was meditating, my meditation brought me to Luke 18 and 1 through 8. And I'm just going to read it because it talked about the widow and the judge. And it says, he spake a parable unto this end, that men ought always to pray and not faint, saying, there was in a city a judge which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and when she came to him, saying, avenge me of mine adversary, and he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubled me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge said, and shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on this earth? And I just thought about that thing, because I'm like, that's us as women. That's what we do. We are going to be persistent, no matter if it's about us, our children, somebody that we know that has an issue, that has a problem. We are going to persist. We're going to give it all day and night. And Nannette, when I think about a persistent person, I think about you, because I've known you since I was a little girl. And I have to give some backdrop, guys. Nannette and I are from the same hometown. We went to the same junior high school. We went to the same high school. Like, we are homegrown Miami, Florida. And when I tell you this woman has a story that I need the world to hear, that I want to share with everybody. Nannette, as we talk about persistence, I want you to think about your life, your early life, and as you were growing up, tell us about a time when you considered giving up, or a time that you saw everything around you just looking very different, but God came through and you persisted in it all as well.
Wow, that's a mouthful what you just said. And I'm gonna tell you, I have this vivid imagination. I really do. And I know I'm a book. God has this huge library, and I'm the book of Nannette. And we on chapter 47. And I promise you, I'm probably one of those bestsellers, because they're always looking to see, okay, what chapter is she on? Okay, this is the good part. And then, and on cue, they come and save me. And on cue, I have to step out on faith. And on cue, they send their angels to deliver me. And I've had some instances, and you're right, I have not only, when God sent tests, that's the testimony. And back in the day, I didn't see it as a testimony. This test that I was going through, and I remember I was an educator. I was teaching at a gifted school at the time, and I was about to be evicted from my house. I'm gonna be honest. We had some issues going on. It was just me and my son at the time, and he was 3 years old. And we're about to get evicted, and the police are coming, and they were going to give me a day. And I remember crying on the floor, crying out to God, why, how, the same saying, why do bad things happen to good people? That was me. I was there. And I remember my son, and he was only 3 years old. He put his hand on my shoulder and he told me, Mama, it's going to be okay. A 3-year-old telling a grown woman that. And I remember just getting off the floor and just giving him like the biggest hug. And for him to tell me it was going to be okay, I had a peace come over me. And that next day, my brothers, unbeknownst to me, I guess they found out I was about to get evicted. Him and his friends came, and with the U-Haul, they didn't fuss, they didn't do anything. They packed me up and brought me back home. And it was nothing but God. And even with that, oh yeah, he delivered me, but you still got this test. You still have this process. Because at that time, I was determined, Trina, I was determined that I was going to get my son a home. Yes, I was an educator, and my educators out here know that, especially in Miami, you could not really afford a home just having a regular degree. So I went back to school and got a double master's at the University of Miami in reading and special ed, and a little minor and ESOL, because I was like determined at that time. And even with that, I had developed thyroid disease, and that's an autoimmune disease. And basically, I already have big eyes. My eyes like bulged out of my face. And right before I was about to do my last class, and I was about to graduate, I had palpitations so bad, and anybody who has thyroids or hypothyroidism know your heart beats real fast. And so they had to admit me into the hospital. I was in the hospital for about a week because they couldn't get my heart rate down. And so I remember, calling my professor at the University of Miami and saying, hey, look, this is what's going on. And he said, Nannette, I don't know what you're going to do, but this class that you're taking, it ends, it was like next week, Friday. I unadmitted myself from class because all I could think about was my why. All I could think about was my son at the time. And I know I shouldn't have done it. But these were one of those deciding factors when you got that why, and when you got God. And I prayed on it, and we went through that together. I promise you it wasn't me. I promise you. And and like I said, he delivered me, but he didn't make it. He didn't make it easy.
All right.
I went that whole week, got out of class, my eyes was hurting, I was bulging and the whole nine, doing this paper. And at the time, had this writing component with the masters that I had. So pages that we were doing were like 20 to 30 pages, just on a blimp. And so when I think about that time, I'm so happy. When I was going through it, I was not happy. You know, I was happy in the sense that I could see the end of the light, but I knew that these were the obstacles that were stopping me, that could stop me from what I needed to do. And that was to get my son a house. And I was determined. And you know what, Trina? And I think that's for every woman or male that's out here, and they say, you know what, I can't do it. But God, when I say this, God saved me, this young lady right here, man, if he can do it for me, he can do it for anybody, Trina.
You know what, that makes me think about a story that I was reading in one of my devotionals, and it was about persistence. It was a young man, and he asked his dad, he said, can I play football? And the dad was like, you kind of small. I don't think that, you know, that's good because you might get hurt. And so then the next morning he asked his mom, can I play football? And the mom said, go ask the daddy. It's like, well, can I play football? The daddy said, you can do it, but if you get hurt, I don't want to hear it. Don't come crying. And he let the son play football. He went out there and he played football and he got hurt. The first game he got hurt, and they took him to the hospital, and dad was there. He was like, son, how you doing? And he said, I'm okay, just a little uncomfortable. And because the daddy was waiting on him to say, I'm hurting, I shouldn't have played, woe is me, you know, all of those things. And he was like, you're uncomfortable. He said, yeah, because I know you're waiting on me to say I shouldn't have played football, but the pain and the effort were worth it. And it made me think about what you just said when you talked about your why being your son, and the fact that, yeah, your brothers came and they found out, and of course that's God intervening. We already know that, but you're a strong woman, so you're going to persist. And Nannette, because I know your story, I'm going to have to just push a little bit, because I need them to understand when Nannette said it wasn't easy, Nannette went back home. Nannette, what happened when you went back home? Did your mama just say, here you go, you can have a master bedroom because you got a baby and everything gonna be okay?
Oh no, my mom is, I love her to death, but she is one of those moms that does tough love. She said, you know what, it's not his fault that he's here. So because he's here, let me tell you what I'm gonna do for you. You're going to sleep out in the front room, not in your own room, because I don't want you to get comfortable. And like you said, I was crushed. I was like, oh, you know, I wanted to come back home and cry with my tail between my legs. And you know, I'll just stay with my mom for the rest of her life. And she said, you got to get back up and you gotta keep going. And you know what? I thank my mom. And my mom taught me about, there's about 4 times in my life where she gave me tough love and push me back out of the nest like this. Yeah, you can stay. I don't even want you to pay any bills, because I need for you to get back on your feet and provide for you and your family. And I love her to death, but to this day for that.
I love it. I love it. You know, it's nothing like tough love. And in today's time, when we think about our own kids, so we feel like, oh, it's so much going on. But back when we were growing up, it was so much going on. But our parents pushed us out there to go and get those battle scars so that we would build that battle armor and be prepared for what was truly to come. Because Nannette, that wasn't the end of adversity and shift and change for you. Just like myself, you made a move to Atlanta. And I know when I moved, it's so many similarities in our story. When I moved, it was me and my son, Keenan. You know, it was just us. We moved to Atlanta, which we thought was the land of milk and honey. And for us, it definitely changed the game. But we moved, and there was, you know, I left the job at the district. And I know you had a pretty powerful job as well in Miami. And, you know, came here. I went back into the classroom, and you went back into the classroom, and things it was a different situation and scenario. Tell us how you persisted even in your move, because things didn't just fall into place.
And it didn't, but you know what? I knew it was for me because it didn't fall, it fell into place, meaning that, you know, I sold my home. At that time, I had bought a townhome. I used that money to come up here. Like you said, I did not have a job the first when I came up here. But again, that did not stop me or deter me because we didn't have a job and we didn't have a house. And I buckled down and I said, we're going to do this. And I remember staying at one of my friends' house that I had graduated from the University of Miami, you know, just for a little, it probably was a good 2-3 weeks until I figured out what the home I wanted, where I was going to stay. And even, you know, because I was a union liaison and a union administrator at in Miami-Dade over about 30 to 40 schools, Region 4 and Region 5. And like you said, my son, he's something else. He told me, Mom, I'm tired. I want to see you. And that's what brought me that pilgrimage to Atlanta. But I remember the obstacles, like, you know, paying the down payment, then coming here. And, you know, I was like this phenomenal who's who teacher in Miami, you know, at this gifted school that was doing phenomenal things. And I came up here being the outspoken person that I was, and it wasn't like well received. I'm going to be honest. And that's what evolved me to where I'm at now, because, you know, you can't just, every time something comes up, you can't just give up. You got to, one, pray on it. I truly believe in that. You have to pray on it and then look at that goal and say, okay, what's going to happen? And this is where I'm going to go, and I don't care who's in my way to get it in a good way. This is where I'm going. And people laughed. I'm going to be honest. People thought, oh, she from Miami. You know how it is, the typical loud and everything. But no, I had to realize it wasn't me being loud. It was me being an advocate, because I love my kids. I love my students. I went to bat for my teachers, and that was kind of different. And then because of me, I think even because of my dark skin, it did look a little different. And it did kind of even traumatize me for a little bit, because I thought in the county that I was, that I'll be well received, and I wasn't.
All right, all right. And you know, Nannette, I know those things for the average person, it might have broken them, but it didn't do that for you. It pushed you. It actually fueled you, because you were determined not to just stay where you were. You were determined to have your voice heard, to be able to stand out, because you stand out in a crowd and your light shines so brightly. And that's one of the things that I truly love about you. You are definitely an advocate. It's not just about Nannette, it's about everybody. You see that light in everybody and you push them. And I love that in you, because I noticed, I said, you know, Nannette was in Miami, a liaison. She came here to Georgia and started navigating the waters, and the waters weren't easily, you know, it was some rough tides and waves, but you still were able to navigate it. So much so you bought a house here. But Nannette, you and your husband, you all have a beautiful love child, as you call him, and you also have your dream home. How did that come about? What was that journey like? Because I know that was different, because you talked about the 3-year-old in Miami, and then it's like, well, we got a little one now in the house.
Yes, now we have our love child. And there comes a point of time, you know, again, I got married to my husband, and it has been wonderful. And, you know, like you said, you look at that coal and you brush that coal off, you're like, wait a minute, Trina, I got a diamond. And basically that's where the love and the admiration, and when you see me, people think, oh, wow, she has it together, or, oh, wow, she's always just speaking her mind. Oh, there are times where I'm just like, oh my gosh, did I just say that? Oh my gosh. And you know, we have that conversation always afterwards. But going to this house, you know, again, I sold my house in Miami I kind of flipped my house. Amen. And then, and again, we weren't at a place where complacent, not happy with my job. I discovered some other ways to, you know, basically make money. I kind of discovered my voice. I always had that voice, but like you said, you think about what other people think of you and you're like, oh my gosh, people might not receive me well. And that's when you got to come into your own. And that's when God, I know, like I said, they're looking at the pages right now and say, okay, we on chapter 47, verse number 6. Okay, it's about to get good. She's about to figure out she's her own person and she's different. I have this little saying over here on one of my bedazzled things. She's different. She wears blue bottoms. That's me. If anybody out there knows me, I'm just different. I talk different. I act different. I'm very creative. I also have my little bedazzled Jew. She's a boss, because you know what? If you don't speak life into yourself, who else will, guys? And there will be times, there always will be a time where you're going to say, you know what? I did too much. I did the most. I made a mistake. You know, no one is ever going to forgive me. Forgive yourself.
Amen.
At the end of the day, Trina, and I know we've talked about this. You're not fighting the world. You're fighting you. You're fighting this. And once you come past this and your mistakes, now I'm in my dream home. Like God said, and me and my husband has this joke: get what you want. And when we got this, it was on a lake. And I was like, we can't afford this. And I remember him saying, you know what? You prayed for this. You asked for this. You can actually afford this. But I had such this, you know, growing up in Richmond Heights, growing up in, you know, being poor, never having enough, and not realizing I worked for this. I put this is not for y'all, this is for me, because I can look behind here and I can see this. And I have to remind myself, honey, you are worthy. You know, brush those old awards off. I don't care if it's back from way when you was in elementary school. Brush them up, hang them up, and see that you are worthy. Because when you know that you're worthy and God has placed you in a position of worthiness, I don't care if it's sweeping the floors. Be the best person that you can. And at the end of the day, that's that pursuit of happiness. That's that persistence. That's that going through that process, Trina. And I don't know about you. You know this. I could talk about this all day.
I do know, Nannette, and that's why when this topic came to my spirit, I knew you were the perfect person to share this platform with me, because I don't know every facet of your journey, but I know enough of your journey and I know your heart. And, you know, my last question was going to be, in this season, you know, where are you in this season of life? But you kind of, you talked about it just a second ago, and how you're still persevering. You've arrived, you have those affirmations, and I've had the opportunity to share a few platforms with you. You know, the other day we were on a business platform, and you talked about how you have all your affirmations around you, and how despite of, I am going to be, no matter what, I am. And I know that that also bleeds off into your son, your husband, the people who walk into your home, your friends, your business partners. It makes a difference, because through you in chapter 47, they can see I can be different. I can be whoever I need to be. I can stay the course, and God is still going to love me for me in everything that I am. I don't have to be like somebody else. I don't have to be somebody else. I can only be myself, and that is enough. So as we kind of wrap up here, Nannette, do you have any parting words that you would share with the people that are going to listen to this on Facebook, on YouTube, on those various platforms?
Let me tell you, God will show up and show out. Be careful what you pray for. And I say this so sincerely, because it's not going to look like the way you want it to look. It's going to look the way God wants it to look. And so to say, you know, education is my passion and still is, to say where I'm at in my business, in my life, that this is the way it was going to look, Oh my goodness. And get a motto going. This is my motto, and I took it from Les Brown. Be patient, persistent, and positive. And now I add something called prayerful. Be patient. Be patient with yourself and whatever that process looks like, because that being patient leads to the persistent of you getting to your goal. And being positive, let me tell you, growing up, that's the one thing I think God instilled in me. He instilled in me some friends. And I can remember at an early age just laughing, and we would joke about just anything. And I think that's why, a lot of times you hear me joke around, even when it's serious, I'm joking, because, lighten up, people. What's wrong with you now? You keep putting yourself in this box. You want everything to be serious and where our thought, like that Medea thing, you want to be super and yes. And then we went over here, and yes, I went to University of Miami. No, boo boo kitty. I need for you to be positive, be happy, stay in the moment, enjoy your moment, and be prayerful. Because when I look over my life and where I've been, I can literally say, and I'm going to end with this, Trina, I saw God like every step of the way. When I had some issues, when the car broke down, when I didn't have any money in my pocket, it was like angels were flying in just when they knew to save me. And I embraced it, my silly behind, because I didn't know, because you know how they say God look out for the young and the old and the foolish at heart. Well, I think I was that fool, because he came and saved me when I didn't even realize I needed to be saved. And I embraced it, because I was like, oh, okay, yeah. All right, what we doing? What are we doing next to that next level? So I'm not here trying to put on airs. This is who I am. I enjoy being who I am. But it took me 47 years to realize that, Trina. So be you. Be patient, persistent, yes, positive, and prayerful, Trina. And with that, I know I love you, Trina. And thank you so much for having me.
I love you. As I sit here and I see the messages and the comments on Facebook, Juanita Jones bowed and wrapped it up for us. She said, be who God created you to be. And you know what? I see a lot of love, Nannette. I just want you to know that the audience has definitely, everybody out there, they're receiving you. They love you, your authenticity. I love you, and I'm so grateful for you. And thank you for sharing Nannette chapter 47 with us. There is much more to come, and it's amazing as I sit here and think, I'm like, we learned so much at the latter part of our lives. Imagine if we would have got ourselves together when we were in high school, but we needed to go through all of that, and so that we would be here and be able to be a testimony. Your life is definitely a blessing and a testimony to all of us, and I thank you for joining us on Wisdom Wednesday. So sis, I love you. God bless you. And take care. And as my girl will say, because that's how I'm going to wrap it up, who run the world?
Girls.
All right. God bless you guys. I love you. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and we will see you on Freedom Friday. Bye-bye.